the top 10 best strikers in UFC history. Now, honestly, my nerdy ass could have made this like all the way to like top 40, because I honestly had that shit in my notes all the way to like 50, but you know, we're gonna keep it short and simple. We're gonna be looking over the 10 best before it even gets there, bro, because I know it's gonna happen, dude. Pereira and Adesanya, Silva too, they are not gonna be on this list, bro. No, I'm sorry. You could make the argument that they're the best relative to their weight class, like their striking's the most effective in their weight class, but we're not going by relativity to weight class, bro. We're going off of how good you are, how good your technique is, how actually good at striking you are, not relative to your weight class in general. How good are you at striking? And around here, bro, we recognize that the sport has evolved and that lighter man skill exists. And that's not to say that there's a ton, actually, of other fighters that are extremely skilled and like are right on the cusp of making this list. But for some reason, like, it's the wrong fighters from that era get labeled as the best, and then the other fighters that are actually the skilled ones from that era get labeled as the cans, the nobody. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense at all. And now that we got all that out of the way, let's get into the honorable mentions. The first one, a lot of people are gonna think he should be on here, and he's almost on here. He's right there, but I got Sugar Sean O'Malley. Insane timing and distance control, super elite. Dude, his like long range footwork, his rhythm shifts, his feint specifically, it's really kind of what people think Adesanya does, but he actually does it to an elite level. Defensively, you know, he is a little, Sean, put those hands up, keep those hands up a little bit, man, please. But specifically, his counter right hand is super effective. His step back pull counters, beautiful. But yeah, he's just crazy at creating openings. He can make openings and reads, but defensively, he's a little. But his offense is some of the best ever, and that's why he's like just barely not on the list. And another honorable mention, kind of guy from the same weight class, is Song Yadong. I know he has some losses, and I know that he's kind of relatively new, but I don't really care. His striking is easily some of the best ever of all time that the UFC's ever seen. And dude, like, not even his technique, but I honestly, there's probably some more people up there, but he's probably top 5 hardest bantamweight punchers ever. He's explosive as shit. And when he hits the fuck out of people, dude, boxing mechanics are insane. His like compact right cross, his left hook combo, it's amazing. He's easily one of the best pocket boxers right now. His defensive instincts, his counters, slips, bro, everything in the pocket. Everything in the pocket is just super good. Another honorable mention is John Dodson. Dare I say, one of the most athletic fighters just in general to ever fight in the UFC. I don't want to go I wouldn't say he's the best. He's on it. He's up there though. He's probably top 3 best at like blitzing in and out safely, like getting, like hit vanish. Like he can go in the pocket, pop in, pop out, and he's fine. And within like 2 seconds, he hits you 5 times. It's crazy. He was one of those guys who could knock you out moving forward or backwards. Like he was a front foot and back foot fighter, which is not found a lot nowadays. And people love to bring up his record and stuff and how many losses he has, but this guy has never been finished. Not on the ground, not on the feet. This guy has never been finished. There's definitely been some moments where he gets, stunned or something, but dude, this guy has never really ever just had a moment where he's been like screwed on the feet or he's like panicked. It's never really happened. It's never happened. And I know people kind of see this guy as more of a all-around fighter, but Frankie Edgar definitely gets an honorable mention up here. Probably some of the best striking and footwork ever. It's just so good. Kind of like I said with Dodson, with those kind of like dart-ins, those in and outs, super good at that. His main strategy was kind of his combos off level changes. Made it super unpredictable. Like he'd fake a shot and then like land clean hooks or crosses right after. It got a lot of people. His in and out rhythm, he's just very clean, very organized, super good striking game. And then the last honorable mention that I want to put up there is Chad Mendes. Bro, and I'm already knowing. They're saying, oh, he's got He's got knocked out by every good striker. He's got knocked out by every good striker he's ever faced. Okay. Let's look at the strikers he lost to. He lost to Aldo twice. He lost to Edgar. He lost to McGregor and Volkanovski. That's it. And Edgar's already on this honorable mentions list. Those other 3 guys that he got outstruck by are also in the top 10. So I think it's safe to say that doesn't take away from how good he is as a striker. He may not be as good as them, but he's still an all-time great striker. Don't get it messed up, bro. McGregor was not trying to see that boy on a full camp. Let's keep it a buck. And now that we got all the honorable mentions and shit out the way, now we can get into the real top 10. And coming in right at that 10 spot, I used to have Sean O'Malley right here, but now I have Corey Sandhagen. Definitely the most creative and layered striker in bantamweight right now, aside from Jan. And another kind of similar thing to Jan, his striking arsenal, like how deep his striking bag is insane. I mean, just knees, spinning attacks, stance switches, like this, his bag is deep. Like his feints, his setups, his range reads, like he's just almost technical to a fault, but still just extremely technical. And he's a guy who, obviously, he doesn't rely on his power, but he doesn't really rely on his volume too much, a ton. Like, he does have good volume, but he's not like some Max Holloway where he's just peppering him up, like, the entire time, 200 significant strikes, you know, like, his thing is usually just his accuracy. Dude, he doesn't hit, like I said, he doesn't hit crazy hard. His volume's good, but it's not, like, insane. But when he's just so accurate, like he throws and it'll land, and it'll land very good square on the chin. He's just really good technically, you know, even though he lacks like genetic advantages. Super good. And then right below him, we got the brawler in the pocket, Justin Gaethje, the highlight. One of the easiest ways to find out if someone doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about is if they think Gaethje's striking is sloppy. I already made a TikTok breaking this down. Dude, his striking, it looks, he'll lure you into a brawl. That's kind of how he sets up traps. Dude, his striking is not sloppy at all. He is one of the best kickboxers to ever be in the UFC. His low kicks have gotten him in trouble before. Sometimes, like he just kind of, it's a habit. He'll just go back to it when something else isn't working. He'll telegraph it really bad. You can kind of see it coming. And then, like, his exits, he'll get caught on the exit after he lands the leg kick. It's alright, though. The best way to probably describe him is, like, a disciplined brawler, because he's definitely still, like, a brawler. And that's what gets people kind of confused, is they you know, when they think brawler, they just think no technique, no IQ, just power. And that's just not Gaethje. Gaethje has a ton of IQ. He has a ton of traps. You know, he's really got underrated clinch work. He's just an insane striker. At number 8, though, I have someone who I think is a better kickboxer, Conor McGregor. Then, dude, every time I make a TikTok or anything about Prime McGregor, quote-unquote Prime McGregor, people are always saying, dude, McGregor in his prime would be number 1. He's easily the best striker ever. He's the best striker ever in his prime. Nope. No, he's not, dude. But I'm not here to shit on him. We're here to talk about the shit he's good at, and he is. He's the 8th best striker ever, in my opinion, to ever be in the UFC. And he just has a couple weaknesses. But besides those weaknesses, his strengths are unbelievable. I do think in his, like, athletic prime, when he was the most athletic, I think he probably has the best, like, timing when it comes to counters, especially pull counters, hand precision, stuff like that. I think probably in his prime, he was probably the fastest at that ever. Another thing that some people talk about it, but not a ton, his anti-grappling on the feet is really good. It's really good. He works the body against grapplers super good, and he stops them from initiating takedowns or clinches through body work and through distance management. It's really good. The Chad Mendes fight, even though it was on short notice, still, he worked the body great. That's kind of what caused him to fade, Chad Mendes to fade as soon as he did. That anti-grappling in that fight is some of the best you've ever seen. Even in the Khabib, in the earlier rounds, his anti-grappling is really good. He's got really good on the feet from keeping you from initiating grappling. But yeah, one thing he always struggled with was leg kicks. If you fought him and you had good calf kicks, you were probably gonna fry his fucking leg. And sometimes in his straight punches, like his jabs straights or his reactionary straights, he'll kind of overextend. And that's kind of how when Dustin, right before he TKO'd him, that's exactly how we caught him. He overextended on the straight and he got him right there in the pocket. Another reason that it's so interesting to think about how he would match up against current featherweights and lightweights in the striking, because of all the new things brought to the table. Just everything in total, it would be so interesting. It would be dream fights. Dream fights, dude. Only in the imagination. Now, dude, when I think of like just a maestro on the feet, like just clean, just has a system, mixes it up, switch stances, just literally, like I know I already said it, but just a maestro on the feet, Dillashaw is the first guy that comes to mind immediately. Like, dude, his feints and footwork, I mean, in his footwork, he would cross his feet a lot. Please don't do that. If you ever get in a fight, do not cross your feet. But he was still really good at using his footwork to switch up angles and like stance switches, stuff like that. And I don't think this is a hot take at all, but he easily, for me, has the greatest angles of all time. Like the angles you can create with his striking, I think he by far has the best angles ever. I think he's also the best at using that like false rhythm where he creates a rhythm and then just kind of pivots it and changes it completely. Just completely changes the rhythm, catches you off guard, switches a stance, and then it's just like it's a whole different striking game. It's like he's got 5 different styles of striking inside his one system of striking. And yes, he did get outstruck by Sandhagen. I do think Sandhagen robbed him, but that was like him coming back from 2 years off, not having a single fight, and a shoulder injury with minimal recovery time. So I'm going to have to say if it was super close at that point, that Prime Dillashaw would outstrike him comfortably. But yeah, I'd say the only like obvious things in his striking game that are quote unquote holes is his pocket defense, which is kind of what got him dropped against Garbrandt, and him crossing his feet. And nothing ever came bad of him crossing his feet and his footwork, but in general, you know, it didn't really add anything to his game. And if anything, it just put him in a little more danger. But I see what he was trying to do with mixing it up and confusing with the stance switches and stuff. But yeah, just one of the overall, like, most best all-around striking games with very, very little holes. Yeah, he's solidified his spot right here. And then at number 6, right outside the top 5, I got Dustin the Diamond Poirier. This I don't know if it's a hot take or not, but especially in lightweight, pre-hip injury Poirier would be Topuria's hardest fight. Do I think he beats Topuria? No. His hardest fight? Absolutely yes. You know, when we talk about a lot of guys, they either have like one signature thing they're good at. They're either a power striker, or they're a volume guy, or they're an accuracy guy. Poirier is all 3 into 1. He's power, he's volume, he's accuracy. He can do it all. He can keep it like a clean outside fight. He's got a great jab, great straights, great combinations, great blitzes. Or he can lure you into a war in the pocket, which he's even better at, honestly. Or he can lure you into a war and then back up against the fence. Probably, I'm going to say he's the best striker ever off the fence. Off the fence, Poirier is the best striker ever. So if he manages to lure you into a war and then you have him up against the fence, you get overconfident, and you start swinging on him, he's going to knock your ass out. He loves being up against the fence, especially you look at the McGregor fight, the second one. Dude, whenever McGregor would get that guy up against the fence and start throwing, he would get clocked every time. Poirier would clock his ass. But yeah, just even in like that kind of brawler state, like we were talking about with Gaethje, he keeps it clean. He keeps it super technical in the pocket. Specifically his counter left hand. And that final exchange where Holloway and him were in the middle and fighting in their last fight, how the hell did that check hook not knock him the fuck out, dude? That shit flatlined Benoit Saint Denis. Like, that shit sent him to the fucking shadow realm. And Max ate that on the goddamn chin. I guess that's just Max's fucking chin. But, dude, that check hook, he gets so many people with that, and he either drops the shit out of him or stuns them badly. His durability is insane too on the feet. You hit him, you stun him, you drop him, whatever. Dude, he gets back up. He still is just as locked in. He hits just as hard. Honestly, bro, he might even do better, like, whenever he starts recovering from doing worse. Like in the Alvarez fight, when Alvarez is fully mounted and he accidentally throws one of the 12-6 elbows, and then they stand him back up. It's like he was just getting dominated. They stand him back up, and he immediately starts piecing Alvarez up, looking way cleaner than he had the entire fight. It's just like he thrives. He thrives in the fire and in the violence, and comes out as probably the more technical one, and usually wins. It's insane. It's insane. If any, just barely outside the top 5. Just barely. Now we're getting in the top 5. This is where things can be kind of interchangeable, interswitchable. But I'm pretty confident with how I have them. And right at the 5th spot, I have Jose Aldo. I don't even think I have to say it because I think it's just kind of obvious, but he easily has the greatest leg kicks ever. Obviously, kind of after he was getting injured and having surgeries and stuff, he would throw him less, especially at bantamweight. But, yeah, featherweight Aldo. Yeah, you're not gonna have any fucking legs after fighting him, bro. Really utilizes it with his Muay Thai. He does really good body work. He throws kicks to the body. People think he only throws kicks to the legs. He does really good body work with the kicks. He does really good body work with the knees. And his boxing is insane. Like, his boxing is up there. It's up there with some of the best boxers ever. Even though he was a kind of a Muay Thai kickboxer hybrid. His boxing was insane. Now, the main thing that caused him to lose his major matchups, like Max Holloway, for example, twice, when it came to like striking on the feet, is that he literally throws 100% into every punch. That's not an exaggeration. Every jab, every straight to find range, every hook, uppercut, everything. Every combination is thrown with 100% power. There's no 50% and then 100% on a hook. Like, no, everything is getting thrown full force. And unfortunately, if we have to be 100% honest, it kind of caused him to overextend sometimes, and a lot of the times it caused him to gas out by the 4th and 5th rounds. And honestly, sometimes, especially with a guy like Holloway, you just can't do that. You just can't do that. You have to be smarter than that, and you can't gas. You can't use your all in the first 2-3 rounds when you're fighting someone who can easily go all 5 rounds. But, like, unironically, I think that's probably the only major hole in his game, is that he gives it 100% every single punch and gasses himself out sometimes and will overextend. Every other part of his striking game is almost, like, perfect. It's almost perfect. His head movement, his leg kicks, the way he mixes it up with the punches, the body work, the clinch, the Muay Thai. It's like how I was saying with Dillashaw, with the maestro on the feet. Yeah. Prime Aldo, WEC, maestro on the feet. And then right below him, at number 4, we got the dude who outstruck him twice, the fucking Blessed Express, Max damn Holloway. Kind of the same thing with Aldo's leg kicks. I don't really have to say it. He has the best volume ever, pretty easily. A lot of people like to say he's pillow hands. You'll hear the Max pillow hands Holloway. It's like, no, he just doesn't throw 100% into air. He doesn't make every shot a power shot. He's a volume guy. He's going to pepper you up through the rounds until you can't take it anymore. Now, when it comes to pure boxing, like mechanics, like your form, your technique, I would say Poirier has better form. I would say he has better, like, boxing, specifically technique. But I would say Holloway is definitely better at implementing boxing in MMA striking. His mechanics may not be as good, but his volume, the way he can put straights and hooks together, it's just very, very superior to me. And it's just offensive striking, he might be the best. When it comes to just striking, he's a really good reactionary striker, but even when he's not throwing reactionary shots, he is so good offensively with combinations, creating openings, angles, all the other positive things we've gone over with the other guys. He does all of that super well offensively. Honestly, maybe the best offensive fighter on the feet ever. He does, even by guys that we wouldn't consider super elite. He will get hit, he will get tagged by him. Even if it doesn't do anything, like seriously, if there's no effect at all, you're still getting hit, it still matters. but his chin and his offense, it really kind of makes to the point where it doesn't really matter. And he's not kind of like a guy like Aldo where he looks visibly better in the first couple rounds than the later ones. Like, no, his striking cardio and his durability, he maintains the same output without fading throughout 5 rounds. He will literally look as good in a 4th round as he does in a 1st. And that's not crazy to say at all. The last thing I'm going to go over is, even though I was just kind of shitting on his defense, his head movement is pretty good. He's shown, especially in the like catered Ortega 2, those type of fights, he's shown really good head movement. So he just has a tendency to get overzealous on the offensive end and get tagged sometimes. But it's never been that big of an issue unless you're Topuria. And yeah, easily top 5. And now in the top 3, I'm at the 3rd spot. I have Piotr No Mercy Yan. Now I'm already knowing, bro, there's people that are gonna be like, oh, bro, he lost to O'Malley, bro. No, the fuck he didn't, bro. No, the fuck he didn't. Dude, and if you're gonna try to make that argument that he still lost on the feet, so he's a worse striker, I'm gonna bring to you that styles make fights, not the actual skill of the fucking fighters. Because there's been plenty of times where the lesser skilled fighter wins due to their style. That happens a lot. Also with that same fight, I don't think people take into account that if that went 5 rounds, could have been a completely different story. I'm not even trying to be like some Yan dick sucker where like, bro, he was, if he had time to download data, bro, he would have. Unironically, I think you give him 5 rounds against O'Malley in those 4th and 5th rounds, he's making those reads way better than he did in the first couple of rounds. Because like I said, kind of doubling back on where I put Sandhagen on this list and how I was saying that styles make fights, not the fighters. I think Sandhagen's, even if you want to talk about just overall when it comes to like your ground game and everything, I think Sandhagen is easily a better overall fighter. But I think he's also better on the feet, and we saw how much better Yan did against Sandhagen on the feet. You know, I'm always glazing people who do body work because it's kind of like some people just ignore the body completely. But his body work comes with clinch, body kicks, any of that. Even honestly, boxing, his body shots, he works the body to an insane amount. His main trap where he kind of puts his hands over his face and kind of just shells up defensively, and then, you know, someone just starts kind of teeing off on him and then he counters him. Sometimes that can be a weakness. Like sometimes people will just kind of start teeing off on him and then he can't counter right, kind of like what he did with O'Malley. He tried to do that. He tried to shell up and then he just got kind of knocked down again. And it was like, all right, need some new defensive tactics against this guy. But I think Yan by far has the best reads ever of all time. I think he definitely has the best reads. The way he can just break down different guards with body head shifts, elbows, feints, it's textbook. It's literally textbook. I have him second as the best in-fight, like, adjustment maker ever. He's seriously one of the only guys where him and Holloway and probably some people up here it's where the longer the fight goes on, the worse it gets. Where it's like someone like Aldo, the longer it goes on, the better chance you have. You gotta survive those early rounds. With Yan, dude, no, you gotta try to do something in the early rounds. Because the later it gets, the worse it gets for you. Honestly, the worse it gets for you. And yeah, just his mechanics, his form, pitch perfect. You know what I mean? Just every punch, kick, perfect form. His striking is beautiful, dude. There's no other way to put it. And for this number 2 spot, people are either gonna fucking love this or fucking hate this. But as the second greatest striker ever, he could go up. I have Ilia Topuria. So even if you don't think he's the greatest striker ever, he's definitely the biggest threat to you being finished on the feet ever. I'd say especially at this point where we are with him being the lightweight champion. Dude, it's kind of those things where like the second you walk into his range, like the second, your fucking guard better be up. Because if he touches you, you're either going down or you're going out cold. One of those two. A lot of people think Peter Yan's boxing mechanics is better. They think he has better like overall boxing form and stuff. If I have to be 100% honest, I think Ilia Topuria has the GOAT boxing. I think he has the best boxing when it comes to mechanics. Even if you're going to say his power carries him, it really doesn't. But even if you want to say his power carries him, still, I think he has the most effective boxing ever implemented into MMA ever. And especially recently, I've been seeing a lot of people say he's kind of lackluster defensively because, if we're keeping it a buck, he does get cracked. Like, he does get fucking just hit, bro. He does kind of get hit and just tank that shit. His chin is so underrated. That elbow from Charles, honestly, eating that with your head just barely popping back and no reaction. There was no reaction to the point that a lot of people didn't even realize it happened, because there was just nothing coming from that strike landing. And that's insane, because you go back and you watch that, Charles elbowed the fuck out of him square in the middle of the face. It didn't cut him, it didn't do shit, it didn't leave a bruise. It's kind of insane. His durability is super underrated. Yeah, but even his calf kicks, he's not just a boxer. He's never thrown a head kick. That's kind of a popular stat. But it's kind of like, I kind of like it. He sticks to his strengths, and it works. It's super efficient. You know, he can keep good cardio. We saw throughout the Josh Emmett fight. He can throw 100% power and still have cardio by the 5th round and still not be gassed and still not be breathing heavy. But yeah, even defensively, like I was saying earlier, people kind of say he gets hit because he does, but he's easily one of the best defensive fighters on the feet in UFC history. Like, you watch some of his displays against Emmett specifically. I know Emmett's not the most technical puncher, obviously, but still, his defense in that fight was insane. It was insane. He does a really good job of not getting hit, of blocking and countering. He does an insanely good job. So yeah, honestly, his only real quote-unquote weakness is that sometimes, and he hasn't even really been doing it lately, it's kind of just a thing he used to do a long time ago, is that he'll throw power shots and kind of overextend and leave his face open. And yeah, he did that against Charles. So he does it sometimes, but nowhere near as much as he used to. So he's improving, and if he keeps improving, he could be number one. He could be number one. But I just think I have one person just barely over him. Just barely over him. And that man is Alexander the Great Volkanovski. And I'm already knowing Topuria knocked him out. How is Topuria not the better striker? Let's not get too fucking ahead of ourselves, bro. He was 35, about to be 36, with extreme heavy mileage, coming off a short notice KO on absolute minimal recovery time. Minimal. Visibly slower and visibly less durable in that fight with Topuria than any of his other fights before that Makhachev KO. The version of Volk that fought Holloway their 3rd time. Now, I'm not saying Topuria, if he lands that shot on anyone, they probably go out cold. I'm just saying, I don't think that version of Volk in that 3rd Holloway fight is going to be up against the cage mid-stance switch because he's afraid of the power and get caught up against the cage with overhand. I don't think that happens. But like we were saying about the genetic factors when it comes to power and everything, obviously Volk doesn't have the craziest power, but when it comes to everything that's not gifted to you, that's not genetic, everything that you have to master and learn on your own, Volk is the pinnacle of that. He's easily, as shown in the 2nd Max Holloway fight, easily the best adjustment maker mid-fight ever. The adjustments and the reads that he can make mid-fight and just completely turn a fight around is insane. He definitely has the best striking IQ reads when it comes to that type of stuff ever. And kind of how I said McGregor has the GOAT reactionary striking, how I think he was like the fastest at it in his prime. He does have that bad habit. I think who was the most efficient, who created the most counters in there, Volkanovski, with his lead hand down and his rear hand up, and it's just kind of like, hey, bro, there's 2 sides to your face, put the other hand up, bro. But that's like seriously it. There's seriously not another hole in his game. He's got, arguably, I know you want to talk about Aldo, he has the GOAT leg kicks, but if we're talking volume, if we're talking just over 5 rounds, dude, Volkanovski might have the best leg kicks ever. Dude, he might have the best stance switches ever. When it comes to that kind of stuff, he's just so good, technically, when it comes to striking. But yeah, just every pro to someone's striking game that we've gone over through this entire list, he probably has, besides that, like, the crazy power of Topuria or Poirier. He has insane accuracy, insane timing, insane counters, insane footwork, crazy defensive awareness, crazy stance switches and reads. Everything that you need to be a good striker, he has to the absolute max ability of. And one of the main arguments when it comes to people trying to make a case for like Adesanya or Pereira being one of the best strikers ever, you'll hear like someone on the other side say, oh, well, they got outstruck by this guy and this guy and this guy, and then they'll try to defend it and be like, oh, well, they got outstruck because this, and this. Topuria may have knocked him out, but no one has ever gone like tit for tat, like strike for strike with Volk and won. Unless you want to make the case that that second fight was a robbery with Holloway, which it wasn't. He won the last 3 rounds like very clearly. He's never gotten outstruck. He's never been tit for tat with anyone ever. No one's ever outstruck him. You know, some people go on that he just goes to decisions. He's not really a finisher. I don't really give a shit about that, dude. I give a shit about how good are you at striking. How good is he at striking? He's the best ever. I don't get it, because I'll see people in comments that are just like, how can you possibly put Volk as the best striker? And it's kind of like, duh, to me, he's never been outstruck. I don't get it. Those same people that will say stuff like that will say Pereira and Adesanya and Silva are better strikers than him, even though they've been outstruck by probably 10 people more than he's ever even come close to being outstruck by. It just makes no sense. The logic doesn't add up. And in my opinion, Volk, technique, everything-wise, right now is the best striker that the UFC's ever seen. Now, like, depending on how good this video does, I'm going to try to make some more videos on stuff like this. Just, you know, stuff that usually I break down or analyze on TikTok. I'll probably just talk about on here a little bit. I thought this would be a good video to kind of start the channel off with, though. So I'll see how y'all fuck with it. We'll see the opinions and shit. We'll see how it does. And I might post some more stuff later. But appreciate you if you watched this the whole way through, because it's kind of long as shit. And I hope you enjoyed. And if you disagree, which is very, 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 very common, just, you know, debate, comment, get the engagement up, you know, to say what you want to say, and I'll respond. So see y'all in the next one I make.